was given by Cleo a year ago, right?
Yes.
And I was like, these are the topics, you know, those 4 R's are something that I'm really interested in thinking about. And when I went back to prepare again for tonight, I was just really filled with a lot of emotions. But anyway, let me just share screen and then we can go through it together. I would love tonight to be a more interactive time rather than just, you know, like a presentation, me having a monologue, sharing with you. And if you can interact with me through the chat, that will be wonderful. But also perhaps if you have, you know, a notebook or something, a device that you can type in certain things as you think about it, that I think might be helpful as well. So the topic again is time to reflect, review, revise, and renew. And we're really towards the end of the year, believe it or not, only 5 weeks before the end of 2021. And a week from today is my birthday and I'm getting older. So time to reflect. And it's really, you know, something when I think about, I'm the kind of person that likes to write in journal. I like to write in general anyway, like I keep a blog and I write on my journal, whether it's the TLS journal or my own devotional journal when I, you know, have my daily Bible study. So that's why reflection is something that I'm very used to since a very young girl. But, you know, let's go through each of them. So first of all, when it comes to reflection, what do you want to achieve in your life? So basically, as we think about it tonight, what I would like for you to think about is either one of those 3 areas, obviously, because we only have a very short time tonight. We won't have time to go through every area, but maybe you can just choose one out of these 3, which are all very important to each of us, I'm sure. And that is number 1, health. Number 2, either your relationship, friendship, or your family, or number 3, business. So as you share with me in your, you know, Zoom group chat, maybe you can just choose 1 or 2 if you like, just to reflect on. So obviously, you know, before the year end, which is the last quarter for majority of us, you know, we want to achieve certain things by the end of 2021. For those of you who are in the business, all of you are in the business, you would know that we have a goal and goal statement, which is part of our basic 5, that would have given you some indication, I'm sure. So these past few months, in fact, for the past, 19, 20 months since last year, March, since the pandemic and the economic conditions, and even recently the rollout of, you know, vaccination, so many things, even more than last year, this time when I, you know, facilitated this presentation, truly, to me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of you, have been even more so than last year, a roller coaster with events, emotions, right? I'm sure you would agree with me. And you could be either, you know, trying to survive, or you may be even thriving, you know, under the pandemic. I know that many people in our business, those that I know that are really doing well in shop.com, you know, whether it's Market America, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, or here, in fact, you know, are thriving, which is very interesting. But how do you personally want to finish this year strong? Is the question that I've been asking myself, and I would love to invite you to consider and reflect on as well. So as I mentioned, there are 3 areas. Just pick 1 or 2 if you like, that you want to go through with us, that you would like to think back. You know, reflect means to look back on, right? That has so far, you know, in 2021 impacted you this year. And first thing I'd like you to do in terms of a workshop right here is to think of 1 event, which to you is significant, just 1 event, okay? And that event can be anything to do with your health, to do with your relationship, family, or business, right? And that event can include things like an accomplishment, something that you have achieved, just like Marissa, she just achieved Master Coordinator. So that has to be one significant event of an accomplishment for you, Marissa, say for example. So that's the first thing I'd like you to think about. And if you don't mind sharing on the group chat, that would be lovely. Whichever area, whether it's health, relationship, or business, and then just jot down that one event or accomplishment. And second thing out of this A part is a challenge. Just one, because obviously you might have gone through a lot, but just one that you can think of right now that you overcame this year. Okay, now, based on these two things, the significant event and accomplishment, and based on the challenge that you overcame this year, think about and reflect on your character and your personality What has come out of it? The event that happened, the challenge that you overcame may have caused you to experience something positive. I can say for sure, even challenges that I've gone through this whole year, I have gone through heaps, plethora of them, and I'm sure many of you who know me well know that I have, right? Have actually given me an opportunity, which I thank God for, to develop something positive. What about you? Maybe you can write it down in the group chat. So that's the third thing, right? The fourth thing I'd like you to share, if you don't mind, is one person that during this year has touched your life. Just one person. So once you've done that, either you could put it in the chat or you can put it in your own personal note if you're a bit shy to share. All of these things together, again, significant event and accomplishment, the challenge that you overcame, the positive character that you developed as a result of them, and that person who has touched your life, right? All together in one column underneath or up the top, you can say strength, meaning in your life, you've got such strength and blessing. All of these things are in fact something that you can be thankful for. Got it? Yep. Okay, let me just real quick take a look. So we've got a few people here who wanted to reflect on different things like, hello, so good to see so many of you. Yeah, so Rita wants to talk about business, Lei Hun health, Auntie Anne relationship, Cleo also relationship. Thank you for sharing. Great. All right, then the second part is to do with the events and experiences, which on the flip side, not positive. I'm sure during this year, one way or another, you would have experienced something that seemingly are negative, right? And once you actually think of that event or that experience, you could either share with us or you can just put it down in your note. Ask yourself this question. What was the best thing about what happened during that experience or event that wasn't too positive or in fact could be even negative? What did I learn from those experiences? Okay. I'll give you a very vulnerable answer to mine. A lot of you would know, and you are also experiencing the same thing as me, and that is the death of our amazing mentor, Dennis Franks. Obviously, that was not a positive experience or event, but what was the best thing about what happened to his death? To me, I can tell you, I'm so much more focused and on course as a result. So as a result, that was something I learned. I've watched so many of Dennis Franks' videos after he passed, so much more than possibly the number of years I've known him in the last 5 weeks since he passed away. Now, and those are valuable lessons. Obviously, that experience itself is not nice. And I was actually sharing very openly, even in social, that, you know, my grieving, the loss of him and many of my other close friends who passed away this year. have caused me to be, depressed and very down and all that. However, I really could see a lot of valuable lessons. So how about you? I'm sure, you possibly have experienced some other areas as well. So if you can answer as briefly as possible and jot it down, one thing that would be good to do, this last paragraph on this slide is something I learned from Melanie Nelson when she actually did an attitude piece with all of us TLS certified trainers at one point. And she gave us the example. Many of us, when we are wanting to say something positive, whether to ourselves or to our clients, let's say, TLS clients or training, coaching students, we say to ourselves, okay, I should, or you should. Say, for example, this here, I should listen more carefully to what my customers or my business partners are saying. Or as a coach, we can sometimes say, you should eat more vegetables and protein and fiber and every day makes losing weight, no, but you should, right? So that is the kind of thing that we sometimes would say. But Melanie taught us that instead of saying that, use a phrase to replace that by saying, I listen to my customers and my business partners more carefully by asking clarifying questions, meaning you actually say what you are doing. So that is really incorporating a plan of action rather than just saying you should do that, but actually by doing what. So that is something very, very helpful I've personally find. All right, so that is the first one in regards to reflect. The second R that we're talking about tonight is review. So what is review? Review is really an assessment of something, right? So review the different areas of your life. Again, one of those three that we talked about, whether it's your health, your relationship, or your business. In my book, Juggling Health and Wealth, I always talk about the 5 dimensions of health. The 5 dimensions, I always use an anchor action. The anchor includes spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and social health. So when you look at the action anchor, it goes like this from the top down and then out. The reason is spiritual has to be up the top, looking up our God, if you're a believer. Otherwise, really, just thinking about your spiritual life, your mental health, your emotional health, and physical health is, obviously a lot of us are engaged in, whether it's our health and nutrition, TLS, and our, 4 pillars of TLS, say, for example. Social is outward, right? So that's why the anchor is outward. And that would be when we're reflecting on our relationship, our family, and our friendship. So this, if you're thinking about your health, the 5 dimensions of health, then this would be the anchoring of the 5 dimensions. If you're thinking about your business, on the other hand, then I would encourage you to think about the basic 5 fundamentals of your business, which basically, as you all know, if you have done basic 5, right? Attitude and knowledge, goals and goal statement, retailing, prospecting, qualifying, and sponsoring, and ABC pattern and follow up. And in fact, I just want to, give a bit of an advertising on the 11th of December. 5 of us leaders are going to be doing a basic 5 together, including Ken, Hong Ling, Lily, and myself and Auntie Ann. So you're welcome to join us. It's 11th of December. If you haven't done your MUF or you haven't done basic 5, I'd like you to attend that. Now, when you think about this, I would like you to actually use a piece of paper, or you can actually put it into the group chat. Consider those 5 areas: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and social health, which is an area that you have been not looking after or neglecting. And which is the area out of those 5 that you have been most resourceful, meaning you've been doing really well. And then if you are looking at reflecting or reviewing and assessing on your business, think about what are one of those 5 basic 5 fundamentals of your business that you are doing well or having the most challenges. Can someone share that in your chat? Which area? Hello, Jeet, good to see you with us. Yeah, Jit, you wanted to share about relationship. Okay, that's great. So yeah, you can reflect and review on it. You don't have to put it into the group chat, but if you want to share, by all means, right? For me, I'll share. I think for me this year, my mental health has been my weakest link, and ABC pattern is my weakest link. I'll just leave it at that. You guys can share yours if you like. All right, the second part of reviewing, which is to assessing your either your relationship, your health, or your business, is to choose one or two areas you want to improve in 2022 in a new area. Say, for example, what do I want to achieve a specific outcome? Instead of saying just, I want to lose weight, I want to be better in my business, be specific. I want to lose 5% body fat percentage and 10 kilos. That is more specific. Or instead of saying I want to be better with my business, I want to achieve master UFO in the first quarter of 2022. Or I want to have my 10 customers, my base 10 by March 2022, right? So it's very specific. So jot that down. The reason has to inspire and excite you with a strong why. So in essence, if you've done the basic 5, you would have known that's the goals and goal statement. Then number 2 is what are the underlying beliefs and resources required? So let's say if you want to lose 10 kilos and 3% body fat percentage and reduce your metabolic age by 18 years, what sort of resources will I need? You possibly need to actually go on to a 12-week of TLS coaching, say, for example. Or if you want to reach Master UFO, I would highly recommend that you perhaps attend a 90-day Master UFO with Kevin Buckman, say, for example. So that would be the resources required for you to take consistent action. And obviously, it's important for you to have strategies along with your beliefs, because a lot of us would have heard from a lot of great leaders that in order to be successful, when we are talking about our business, belief is our number one product. Even when we're talking about health, say, for example, if you want to be, for me, my strategies of helping me to improve my mental health is I've been engaging in, reading up about the different areas of mental toughness, including, last month, October Mental Health Month, I've been reading and researching. And obviously, I've seen a counselor, a grief and loss counselor, all of that really helped me in, putting in place the strategies that I've learned to improve my mental well-being. So that's one example. And then number 3, what specific actions you must take daily, weekly, monthly to achieve this outcome. So I see that quite a number of you want to improve your relationship, right, or family. So for me, I want to make sure every single day I will spend at least 10-15 minutes chatting with my husband. We pray together, we have dinner together. That kind of thing is actually a good thing in terms of actions in developing our relationship. And we do like fortnightly date night, say, for example. And on monthly, when it comes to, say, friendship, I definitely, now that the border, the COVID, freedom is like we can go out more to meet with people. I've already, if you have a look at my diary, every single week I'm meeting with different people, whether it's my customers, my clients, my friends, these different people, see. Even going back to my community of Zumba, face-to-face, that kind of thing. So that's an example. So how about you? Like, just if you want to share, you guys are very quiet in the chat for some reason. I don't see anything typed there when it comes to reflecting or reviewing on this point. But basically, when it comes to, let's say, TLS, it would be great to have a coach or an accountability partner to help you if you, let's say, want to lose 10 kilos within the next 3 months. Yep, Rita, you want to be richer and lighter. Yep, so that is good. But Rita, if you can actually be more specific, if you want to be richer, okay, I want to say reach 5,000 every single month. So let's say, yep, Ken, you aim UFO by 21st of December. That is specific enough. See, the differences between what Rita you've got there and what Ken has there is wonderful what your goal is, to want to be richer and lighter, but it's very general, isn't it, Rita? If you actually can be more specific outcome, like number one here, instead of just saying, okay, I want to be lighter, you can actually say, I want to be, say, 55 kilos or whatever numbers that you have. And say Ken has a specific time frame. He wants to reach Master UFO 21st of December, and that is specific enough. Then obviously that is number one there, Ken, right? Then number 2 and 3 is the specific actions you must take. It's like what I'm doing. Like I also want to achieve Master UFO by next week. And I want to, the only thing now is to sponsor one person. So in the next few days, I am expecting to actually have made an appointment to show the plan to 2 or 3 people and follow up those that I've shown the plan. Hopefully I'll be able to then sponsor one person. That kind of thing is something specific in terms of action in order for you to be able to then, because normally out of 4 people, 1 person that you share, 4 people that you share the plan, 1 person would then be willing to do a trial run kind of thing. Yeah. And okay, so Emma says, I want to achieve MUFO in this quarter, sponsor 1 Go Now UFO. Yep, that's very specific. Fantastic, Emma. So now the third part of the R word is revise. What is revise? Revise is really to examine and also make alteration after you examine yourself. So basically, once you revise what you've learned, then you need to implement what you've learned. Many of us, I know for sure on this call, have attended a lot of amazing events, even just during this year alone. I was reflecting on how many I've attended, the World Conference, I've attended Asia Pacific Leadership School, I've attended the the online events at the local seminar. I mean, plethora of things that we've learned, right? And obviously with all the callings that we've had the privilege of attending, not only in our own individual callings, but like, cross group like this, you have learned a lot, I'm sure, this year. And, even if you don't attend a lot of those events, you have no shortage of, like YouTube videos or like, the learning center in our back office. But there's one thing to learn and there's another thing to put into practice what you've learned. Bruce Lee says this, and my dad used to say that all the time. Knowing without doing is not knowing. Every single one of us here knows that doing trial size marketing can improve our retailing. Every single one of us knows that attending events like, say, on Sunday, where we have men's health, if you bring guests on, they purchase products that will help you to develop your base 10. But knowing that and actually doing it and taking action to invite your guests, whatever that it takes, is another thing, isn't it? So that's why revise and implement what you've learned. We've learned a lot of things. Like I can tell you, I've watched up till today 42 of Dennis Frank's video since the day he died. And how much have I learned from him? 42 videos, that's a lot. But am I actually implementing everything he taught? I can say for sure no. So that's why it's so crucial we do that. And you can see how you're tracking, measuring. So we've got this thing called MMAC, which I'm going to be sharing about as well. So ask yourself, what would the person I would like to become? For me, I said that last year and I'm saying it again, Dennis Franks. Is someone that I would like to learn from when it comes to building this business. And okay, when it comes to relationship though, my pastors and my church, they are amazing. They're marriage relationship. And when it comes to health, Dr. Deidre Mason is someone who is my role model. So think of one person. How would the person I would like to be like do when they are facing certain situation? Your answers represent a plan of action that might eliminate distraction. Those of you know me know that I'm a Jesus girl. I believe in Jesus as a Christian. And there is this saying that we always learn, and that is, what would Jesus do? And I tend to think about that all the time. If I was in a certain situation, what would Jesus do? And that is WWJD. And I know that here, not every one of us, has any kind of same belief, but it doesn't matter. Whoever that you personally want to learn from and become, say, for example, Auntie Anne is a great role model for every single one of us. In fact, every single one of us is under her organization. And I would say, definitely we can learn so much from. Right? Okay, so as I mentioned, when it comes to the business, measure, monitor, adjust, control, MMAC is something that we certainly can do when we revise and also examine ourselves. Say, for example, I wanted to become a professional coordinator long before now. I had to adjust the date because during this year, I was not really functioning for a few months. So that really delayed my goal, right? So then I had to adjust. And so I will have to adjust my action plan and, if need be, attending extra training and evaluate the progress, stuff like that. But it's so, so crucial for us all to be measuring, monitoring, and adjusting our actions not only in the business, but in our relationship and in health as well. Okay, last but not least is the last R, which is renew. Renew is basically the idea of re-establishing something old to new, right? So basically, renewing meaningful relationship is to acknowledge the people that you basically included in the first area, which is reflect, under strength. We talked about that, right, in the beginning. Under strength, you would have a list already of things that really bless you in terms of, your anchoring into your spiritual, mental, emotional, social, physical health, and the people that are around you, the community, and blessings in your life. So during the next week or month, towards the end of this year, we have 5 weeks before the end of 2021, take the initiative to really recognize what you have as a blessing, whether it's really the people we're talking about, your support network. And I want to say right here, every single one of you, even though we are from different cross groups in Asia Pacific, each and every single one of you has been a blessing to me, because out of a lot of the different groups, you guys have been, such a blessing to me. And I want to say that to my existing TLS 7828 Asia Pacific group. Some of you are in there as well. It has been by far my best group, and Cleo is in it too, and Jit is there. But seriously, it's an amazing group. And so I want to acknowledge and recognize, and obviously a lot of my team members and cross-group leaders as well, Auntie Anne and Irene and Amy Poon, etc. So you can do this in a number of ways, like what I've just done, openly share it verbally, or you can send them an email, a post on social media, WhatsApp, or even give them a little gift is a good thing to do, because especially now, Black Friday is coming this Friday, and you can see in your shop.com, AUMYSG, a lot of special gifts that you can purchase to give to the person that you would like to give thanks for. So that is renew your friendship. But then the other thing is to renew your goals and passion, right? I have lost a bit of passion, those of you who know me, in the middle of the year when I was really depressed due to the death of a lot of my close friends. But I was able to, thank you to many of your support and my God, who has been healing me, renewed my passion for life. And now I feel like I'm back on track to be able to then do this with you all. But seriously, it's always the small things that are the big things. The little things, very, very little. Even just a simple message, a messenger message, like Auntie Anne would send me an amazing sermon, or like Etane, my dear friend and partner who is not able to make it tonight, she would just send me like a little quote. Stuff like that is little, but little things added together can become big things that cause you to be really, experiencing that change. And so I just want to say that, as you're renewing your relationship, also renew your goals and your passion. Thankful for what's happened to you, even challenges, because challenges can actually help us to be transformed to the person, to be a stronger person. And I can say for sure, if I was to face death again, or death of loved ones again, I know the resources and the ways to deal with it a lot better than when I have been for a long time. So just to conclude, I'd like to encourage each and every single one of us to make time to reflect, review, revise, and renew as you think about how this year so far has impacted you, and how you personally, what you've done have impacted your life, and think about the year 2022, how you can make it the best year for the rest of your life. That's it from me. Thank you, Cleo.
Thank you so much, Kitty. You did such a good job. Fantastic. So anyone want to say something that you have learned so far? I'm going to pick on some of you. I like to pick on Gixim. I've not heard from her. Before I jump to Kent, we always go to Kent. Gixim. Is she there? Ah, yes.
I've had quite a lot of challenges this year, but with the help of my team members and encouragement from you all, I just keep going, and I'm actually very grateful for the cooperation that we all have, whether we are in the same team financially or not. Thank you so much for all your support, and I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you, Gixi.
Yeah.
Gratitude is one way of looking back and helping us to move forward. I think I'm one of those type that when I grieve, I don't show my face. I'm a big fat hypocrite. This is smiling. When this year, I have a great challenge. When I lost my brother, I really lose it. But it's amazing having a team, fantastic team that keep you going. And I'm very blessed with this. In fact, you all are like my family. I understand what Kitty goes through, her pain. My pain gets stuck on my chest, and sometimes it didn't come out and clear. There was some time when I so bad. I thank God for the product anyway. So thank you for helping us to see, to look through it step by step, to achieve and to become better. Not look at the challenge, but look at it as an opportunity for growth. Yeah. Thank you, Kitty. Now, Ken, I will pass to you to close and finish. You're the ones really close to Kitty, I think.
He's like my little brother.
Oh dear, you give me such a big responsibility, Cleo.
he's everyone's little brother.
There's only like 3 guys on this call now. No, Reggie, Alfred, 5 of us are next. Thank you, Kitty. I mean, I think last year when you did this too, it was very important. I think this year it's of greater importance. As you know, this year I've got many challenges myself as well, more than I expected to have, and they've affected me more deeply than I thought they would. I guess one of the things, without going too much detail, is I got a bit of a shock, right? That this year potentially I could, certain things may have caused me to sort of lose my job, for a particular reason, and it's definitely not something I expected. So I think, if anything, it has strengthened my resolve this year to really build the business. And I guess, like, I wasn't quite, out for as long as you, Kitty, but even though I was sort of present for meetings, and mentally there were a few things that were going on that sort of really helped me back. But now that we're past that, I think, yeah, like you said, finish the year strong. For me, it's about going back to the basics a little bit, finding the belief in the business, reigniting the belief in our team as well, UFOs. And I know every time I don't get the results I want, I'm mature enough now to just look in the mirror and then say, okay, there's something I haven't been doing, something I need to be doing. And I saw a comment before, I think it's Yang Ding, is it, who said we, just daily activities, that was the key. Just going back to the daily, going back to something that's like a rhythm, that's a habit. So now that whole challenging period is in my mind behind me, my reset is just looking at my weekly rhythm and daily rhythm again, and just like fitting a few things in place, because I think some of the priorities were a bit out of whack. So yeah, thank you so much, Kitty, for this. And then next year, I guess, will be a great year for all of us. We have a Christmas celebration coming up as well, Cleo, in 3 weeks. About 3 weeks.
Our host, our young handsome host, Ken Fong.
I'm freaking out, so I have to go and prepare something. Don't worry, I've got some ideas. I just have to execute me. So we're here in the next week or so. And I guess this is also, for me, it's always good to know that the Market America family is just bigger than our team. It's bigger than Australia, right? It really is our brothers and sisters in Malaysia, Singapore, and even America, all the other countries as well. So thank you so much, Leo, for also organizing this and getting us into shape, I guess that's all I want to say. I don't know if, I'll hand it back to you, really.
All right, so that's it. And one more thing, Kevin Bachman challenges, make 1 degree difference, 1%. And let's see what's going to happen next year. So looking forward to Christmas with Ken Fong and all of you, of course. Cheers. Good night.
See you all.
Yeah.
Good night. God bless.
God bless.
Oh, I think, sorry, we have a quick sharing after this with Lily and Auntie Anne, if that's okay.
My apologies.
That's okay. Yeah, we actually watched a watch party with Dennis Frank's coring with Jackie Blasco's team. Yeah, so Lily, do you want to share first?
Hi, everyone. Thank you. And I am truly grateful to be part of this Asia Pacific cross group coring, because having this, like Ken said, a routine, a regular thing that you need to go to prepare for is very good. It keeps the business and the energy in mind. Otherwise it's out of sight, out of mind. So thank you again for everyone in this team here and my own group, of course. What I did prepare some points. So I'm going to have a quick share. Because that topic that Dennis did with Jackie Blasco team, he does this, and you will notice how consistent he is. he's so consistent in teaching the same thing, and that what we need to do. So basically, he always starts with goals, having a vision. Because if you don't have a vision, then you are kind of like all over the place. You don't know where you're heading, right? And for him, the vision is like putting a spotlight on what your intention is. And then another good point that he says is that then it is up to you to be competitive with yourself. How can you be better 1 year to the next? So this topic that Kitty is talking about is so relevant, right? 2021 is over. Let's look forward. Forget the past. Let's look ahead. But how can you be better? That's the thing. So always seeking personal improvement was what he stressed upon. And then another pet topic of his is, of course, in sales, because he's the best salesman. He was the best salesman ever, right? Because he has always pointed out that products are the glue that keep the people in the business. If you have start with people loving the product and getting them to use the products, and the more they use, the longer they use, they fall in love with the product, they will never leave the company. They will never leave you. And that is so good, isn't it? But of course, the important thing is that you can't just be a salesperson. You need to know the person first before trying to sell them anything. And as in the Getting Started Guide and all that, he reminded us that it is already stated, the company already know what we need to do. And that is, best is to, when you are new, to start bringing in 2 customers per week for the first 12 weeks. And even if you're an OD like myself, and you don't have your 10 regular repeat customers yet, then you aim to do this as part of the process. And that's why the weekly accountability is so good, because it makes us do, contact one person to talk about products every day for 7 days. And that is a must, right? And of course, pick a major, but the good thing is, you know that you have access to all the others. And you must know how to explain our business to people, okay? And that is very important. And a lot of times, if you don't know what you're doing, what your business is about, then you have this fear, and fear will lead you to not talking about it at all, because you don't know how to explain, right? So you need to make sure that you get this down pat. And Dennis Frank uses this, we are a distribution business, and we can actually franchise a successful business model out to others. And then, of course, this is his pet questions when you are speaking to prospect, is you want to know what is it that they want. And if you can get them to give you a figure, and then dig deeper and ask them, what are they going to do with this extra money that they are hoping to make with the business? But more importantly, how will that make them feel? Because you got to tie the emotion in to the goal, the money part of it that they tell you, okay? And importantly is, then once you know what their money goal is, then we can show them how to make the money. Don't just get them in on hype. So that was a few of the key points, which I know you all have heard over and over again, because he doesn't just talk about it. He teaches it, he lived it. So that is a good thing to keep reminding. So when you feel a bit, don't know where to go, YouTube Dennis Franks, or go to dennisfranks.com. He has got a blog, and you can read on his writings too. Thank you, Kitty.
Very good. So I just need to share with you, because a lot of points I want to share, Lily already shared. The oldies, I don't know how to make PowerPoint, but I just tell a lot of people don't think they can do something that greater than what they think. That is very important. You have to know you are not in the box. That's what I always think. I can do better. I can do better. You have to have that one, that what he said. And then you have to know that the system already take us there. So you need to attend training, because a lot of people want the knowledge but never come and attend training. That's what. And you have to know in your team who is go down, because you have to spend more time with those people are going now. Yeah, that is another thing. And another thing he said, when he do business, he don't ask people to come in with the fast start track and not fast start kit. Just like me also, I always say, think that what they want first. You know, my business is a subscription fee that you are in the business, then we will see. But we will tell them that if you come in the past, because a lot of people straight away show them fast start kit and all these things, people might be scared away. You just say, oh, our business is very, very simple. That's what I get from him, you see. That's why now I start to learn that what he say. Oh, we just register, you got the website, then then slowly we lead them to, if you want to come in, because you never know people's thinking, because maybe they scare away, think, wow, straight away you want to give me. But we just say no, as long as you want to change your buying habit. Just like this afternoon, I talked to that girl, that one of my prospects, straight away, I always say, yeah, it's very simple. So make it as simple as you can. Yeah, that is where, most people are, start to introduce fast start, you need to do this, you need to do that. It will scare the people away, okay? Another thing he said, this is what I get from him, that I think that we have to know, we have a business, we partner with Market America, they do all the research for us and all the system for us, and what did we pay? When you tell them it's just a started, a starter kit, not the fast start kit, you see, then you already start get this business. Then later on, then you may explain, if you come with starter kit, you get this special bonus, special what, then they start to think whether I want this special bonus or not. So that is, that. And then base 10 and 7 strong is very important. That's another thing. It's just simple. And then you make sure your team people earn money first, not focus on yourself. That is what most people, how can I earn this? But you have to think, when you have a business partner, you have to think how you channel them to get paid first, not you. And we only, for our business, even you build one center, already 100 over 1,000, that's what all we want. You see, so don't be too quick to think of all other things. Focus on your center first. Yeah. And then understand your team. Yeah. And build relationship. Even with your team is a relationship also. Why your team member, then they go out, they can come in again, because your relationship with them. It's not say they don't want to do this, you don't like, you don't know, you get upset, and all these things. It's not, you see. You have to know why they can't do, just give them, this is what usually reach out to them. That's what Danny's friend show you. So this is what most of the thing that Libby already shared is quite good. So I dropped down most of the point that okay, make sure the fast start 90 day to 120 day, you have to do that one, so that you master UFO. This is all you all know already. So IBV, that's another thing he talked about. IBV is a mission of this company. Most of the people don't want to do IBV. That's why our mission cannot go along. You see, just like I share with you, because the IBV, you not just promote your thing, you want them to go to your site and look at everything, not just your product. So IBV will make our company mission go on. He always mentioned about this. He said, IBV is just like JR also said, is an ocean, but we have to believe first. We have to do it first before other people can do it. Okay, that's it. What I want to say, because it's too late already.
Thank you. Thank you.